Well, hello, and welcome back. No, that was stupid. Hello there, I am back. Today I am just gonna do a simple TBR list. A few months back, signed up for Bookcase Club. It's a subscription box of books. And I looked at a lot of different ones, and I like this one for the price. It was like $9.99 a month. And you pick what genre you like out of the genres they have available. And one that they had was sci-fi fantasy. And as I said in my first video, which I will link below, I have been wanting to read more sci-fi and more like high fantasy or adult fantasy. I tend to like that stuff. I don't know, I always go for the popular, probably easier reads, the YA fantasy and such. Oh, hello again, little kitty. Hello from Lily again. Once again, she does not care because she can see out the window now. Yeah? You like to be on camera? No? Okay. You want to come up here? Come here. Come on. There we go. I guess Lily's gonna join me for a second. Anyways, yeah, so I've wanted to read more of that, so that's the genre I picked, and so they give you 2 books a month, and there's not like a bunch of other frilly stuff in there. There's no like fandom merchandise or anything like that. There's just the books, and I liked that. I try not to collect things because I quickly become a collector / hoarder, so I didn't really want a bunch of the fandom stuff. So, okay. You gotta go. I'm sorry, miss. You're just absolutely covering me in fur. So anyway, so I did that. I liked it, but I was getting too many and I wasn't able to keep up, so I currently paused the subscription or canceled it. But the books that I have, I will go through, and then a couple other TBRs that aren't from Bookcase Club. So here's my this comes with each one, a little bookmark for Bookcase Club, and then on the back is the 2 books and like a little description or whatever. So one of them I got is this Beyond Redemption by Michael R. Fletcher. Literally no idea what it's about. I didn't even look at the back. So let's do that now. So this sounds like either really interesting or really confusing. The very first sentence says, "Violent and dark, the world is filled with the Geistesranken, men and women whose delusions manifest, twisting reality." And then there's a whole bunch of other stuff going on. A master swordsman, a slaver, someone who is ascending to become a god to control. So, it sounds interesting. I'll see how it actually is, but I'm excited to read that. And then these are the first 2 that I got, these 2 books. This is the next one, Zero World by Jason M. Hugh. Also don't know what this is about. I don't know what any of these are about. I literally haven't paid attention. So let's see. Okay, this sounds really interesting too. This is why I like sci-fi, and I don't know why I don't pick it up more often, because I feel like it's always really interesting. It's like complete different world, right? So this one says it's a riveting near-future spy thriller that combines the adrenaline of a high-octane James Bond adventure with mind-blowing sci-fi speculations worthy of Christopher Nolan's Inception. Well, we shall see. But yeah, it's like a spy thriller thing. Technologically advanced, or is that what I said? Yeah, technologically enhanced super spy. And a mirror world that is Earth's twin, but different. A whole bunch of stuff. Cool. The next one is Armada by Ernest Cline. Says, by the best-selling author of Ready Player One. I've never read Ready Player One either, but there's a bunch of praise for it on the back. Let's see what this is about. Okay, this, I don't know if I'm as interested in this, but supposedly it's really good. Basically, it's a kid who lives like in our normal world, who loves sci-fi and fantasy stuff, dreams about it. He's a gamer, so he plays all these like sci-fi games and loves it and like wishes his life wasn't as mundane as it is. And then there is like an alien invasion, but it's like from the game he played. And it's apparently a popular game that a lot of people play, and so the gamers are then really important to like battle this out. I feel like I could really like this, or I will just be like, no, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, the next one is The Aeronaut's Windlass from Jim Butcher. It's the first book in the Cinder Spires series. New York Times bestselling author. This is why I need to like start reading this stuff more. I've never heard of this guy. I've never heard of this author, but apparently he's like awesome. So we'll see. And we'll see now what it's about. All right, so this seems to be, on the back, one of the quotes says, futuristic dystopian steampunk. I could get down with that, I think. I love me some Gail Carriger steampunk, so let's see. The inside cover, I feel like sounds kind of confusing just because it's so, fantastical and fictional and this whole made-up world. There's a really nice little map on the inside of the world. It looks pretty cool. I'm interested. Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully it's awesome and I want to read the rest of the series. The next one is Departure by A.G. Riddle. I mean, from the cover, there seems to be a plane crash, and that is all I know. Okay, so this one is another one that I don't know how much I will get into personally. It's a time-traveling, mind-bending, speculative thriller. There's a plane crash. All these people are like discovering that they have the power to change the future and the past to save our world or end it. And there's like a small group of people with like super different jobs and careers and probably therefore personalities trying to work together, I guess, to like stay alive and save mankind. I don't know how much I'll get into it. Diana I never know how to say Gabaldon, the author of the Outlander series, has a quote on the back, apparently loving this book. I mean, I trust her judgment, right? She's like an amazing writer. I don't know. We'll see. And then it's optioned. The film rights are optioned, I guess. And you can Shazam stuff. It says, Shazam here to depart to a terrifying vision of the future. What? I've never seen, like, picture Shazam. I'm going to do that because I'm confused. But I can't right now because technologically not advanced yet. And I'm using my phone to record. The next book is Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho. I just saw this at Barnes & Noble yesterday, actually. So I was like, hey, I recognize that. But let's see what it's about. Okay, I can get down with this for sure. So there's magic. I'm always down for some magic. In England, there seems to be some sort of like political, not rebellion necessarily, it looks like, but the society is like mad about their ruler, their sorcerer royal, who is a freed slave. It says, at least the society hasn't stooped so low as to permit women to practice what is obviously a man's profession. And then it says that the sorcerer royal is at his wit's end. He is like an eminent magician. He goes to the edge of fairyland, is what that would have said? Yeah, fairyland, to see why the magic is drying up in England. Goes on this adventure with a powerful woman. Yeah, with immense power and an unfathomable gift. Yeah, for sure. Like, this will be the first one I read, probably. But see, this isn't like so sci-fi. This is more fantasy, which is what I normally read. But I don't know if this is this YA? Is it? I don't know. Watch me go grab the one that's the same as everything else I read. Which is fine. I like it, obviously. I keep reading it for a reason. Seeing if there's like a map or anything. I guess it's set in Britain, so there doesn't need to be a map. But yeah, those are the ones from Bookcase Club. And I think it goes without saying, since I have like a very small handful of followers or subscribers, that this isn't promoted or anything. And then I showed in my video yesterday that I got this book that is also on my TBR list, The Once and Future King by T.H. White. It is a retelling of the King Arthur saga, fantasy, blah, blah, blah. It's really big though, so I don't know, I'm kind of scared. But all these authors, with their quotes, they seem to really like it. Ursula K. Le Guin says one of her favorites. Lev Grossman says, I've read this book more times than any other in my library. I mean, that's a lot of pressure. But I'm excited. Have I said I'm excited 17 times? Probably. We'll see. I feel like I've said that a bunch of times too. Next on my TBR list, I mean, out of all these books, this is probably the one I'm going to read next. It's A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. It's book 2 in this trilogy. I'm probably going to read this one next just because I just finished A Darker Shade of Magic. I'm finishing a book I'm currently reading right now that was kind of like an in-betweener. Because I thought I was going to wait for this to come from the library. I had to put a hold request, but I ended up deciding to just go buy it because I didn't want to wait. So this is actually next in my TBR. And then after that is Mistborn. Again, I mentioned these last 3 in my video yesterday by Brandon Sanderson. I have not read any Brandon Sanderson, but speaking of, you know, sci-fi or high fantasy, I keep hearing really good things about him. So I'm going to check it out and see what I think. And then I bought both of these books yesterday because they were $5 because they're the classics. The Call of the Wild and White Fang by Jack London. I have not read this. I don't know if I actually ever read White Fang. I think I did. I know I read The Call of the Wild when I was like in middle school, and I remember really liking it. I was obsessed, guys, like obsessed with wolves. As a child, like my whole room was decked out in wolves. I wanted to be a wildlife biologist so I could just like hang out with wolves all day. That did not happen, but I really, really liked this book. So I got it so I can reread it. I don't know if this is like a TBR soon or just on my TBR list like long term. Probably. But sooner or higher up on my TBR list is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I have never read this book. I've watched the old movie, and I think it's been so long since I've seen the movie that I'll probably be able to get pretty emotionally invested. I find it hard, for me personally, if I just watched a movie or something, it's hard, like Game of Thrones. I also went on quite a tangent about that in my video yesterday. But I love Game of Thrones, the TV show. And like obsessed. It's a problem. It's a real problem. But I started trying to read the books, and like I just couldn't. Not because it wasn't good. It's very good, but and I know that they're different. Okay, I've heard the argument. My coworker keeps yelling at me because I haven't read the books and he has, and also watched the show. But I'm just like, I know what's happening. Like, I get that there are different parts. I get that there are a lot of things that are different, actually, with Game of Thrones between the books and the shows. But, like, the overarching, like, storyline and the overarching things that happen with characters are the same. I get that there's more magic in the books. Different people die at different times a little bit or whatever. But yeah, I just couldn't get like into it because I'm like, I know what's gonna happen overall. Long story short, story of my life. I think I'll be able to get pretty emotionally invested in this since it has been like literally 15, 20 years since I watched the movie. Again, there are many, many books even on my shelves that I own that I have not read that are on my TBR list. But these are the ones that I will read in the more immediate future that I plan on reading anyway. I will keep you guys posted and let you know and give you at least a couple of reviews of probably like my favorites. Until next time.